Well, keeping with the theme of art and literature as activism and a means to fight for social justice, a Friday night Left, Right and Centre special, we caught up with New York-based, critically acclaimed rhythm and blues singer Maya Azucena. Herself a survivor of domestic violence, she's a UN ambassador for gender rights and fights for women across the world through her music. Like the title of her song, Fearless, which you all will hear, she says fearlessness is not the absence of fear, it is the courage to speak up for peace. Namesake, I suppose I should start with that. Maya Azucena, thanks very much for giving NDTV some of your time on this concert tour that you're on. You're a musician, activist, all kinds of fantastic work that you're doing. So in your experience of working in some of these African countries, as you have gone around creating this awareness, just tell us a little bit specifically about how the challenges there perhaps are different from elsewhere, or are they not, as the case may be?
I would say, if we're going to speak about the subject of, let's start with something like domestic violence. The shape of it changes a bit from culture to culture. There are historically embedded within different cultures things that are particular to that culture that set the stage for oppression or harming of girls and women. So I say those feel to me more like subtleties because the overarching issue remains the same. There must be a greater awareness built within their societies at large and an encouragement for both the system, as in the political side, and the attitudes and commitment of the average citizen to stand up and recognize the fact that it's unacceptable that 1 billion girls or women will have been beaten or raped at some point in their lives. So how it differs is smaller to me than how it is the same.
You know, there are many schools of thought when it comes to the arts. There's one that says that it's where you turn your mind off and you do things to relax, and that's one way of looking at music, at cinema, at fine art, whatever you have you. There's another school of thought that says art is activism, and that is the medium then becomes the message. It's a very important way of communicating and bringing a large network of people into awareness of issues. And I suppose that the second is what you use your art for.
Yes, I mean, I am an advocate for art as power. I truly believe that art has an incredible impact and power. For multiple reasons, not the least of which is that art, and I will say music because I'm a musician, is something that can bring people from all different orientations and all different political standings and all different sides of the world unified around this universal language. I can say that from traveling around the world, I've seen the same songs move people from all different backgrounds and cultures, and I know that this is an incredible opportunity to use this power positively. What is very close to my heart is gender-based violence / domestic violence awareness, particularly because I am a survivor of domestic violence. I was in a very abusive relationship I started this relationship with my first long-term boyfriend when I was about 17 years old, and it quickly became a very unhealthy situation where he was doing things like choking me or take a knife and cutting cuts into my skin, punching me, doing torture type stuff. And probably the most painful was the psychological abuse, never being okay with me being happy. So if I was excited about something, it would just always be like a reason that there would be to break it down, to break me down.
You know, it's also an interesting time that you are in Delhi because
Yes.
art as activism, artists as advocates and activists themselves. There's a very interesting phenomenon going on across the country right now, which is that writers, actors, artists are returning national awards en masse as a sign of protest against intolerance. for example, and crime.
I think it's incredible. I mean, I think internationally the entertainment industry is at an imbalance. I really think that I do not believe in censorship, and on the other side, I think that there is not enough encouragement and a platform of support for artists that do want to do something with that power that they have. In other words, substance is not promoted. And so I'm very impressed to hear that, and I'm excited. I wish to be able to meet those artists.
They're actually doing this as a political statement.
Yes, I love it.